This is Molly Reardon, Sigil Magic 2. Now that you have completed the first Sigil Magic video and you know how to create your sigil, there's other things that you can do. For instance, when you create your sigil, if you want to work with candles, for instance, pink would be for friendship, love, you could carve your sigil into the candle, or you can put the candle on top of your sigil, but you want to get it laminated so it doesn't ruin the work that you did, unless you don't care. Some people will make jewelry out of their sigils for whatever your desire is. If it's love, there's a Venus sigil. Copper is very popular. They'll take the copper and carve the sigil into the copper to make the jewelry. And sometimes they'll make a small sigil and roll it up about the size of my thumb and put it in a mojo bag and either wear it or carry it on them. You can use your sigil as a logo for your business to make your business do better. Also, if you want to have people perceive you a certain way, if you want to appear more beautiful, you can make a sigil for that. It's all about what you desire and what your need is. So there's many different things that you can do with your sigils now that you know how to create them. You can carve them into your candle, put them under your candle. Some people do hang them in their environment, but some people wear them as rings, as necklaces. It all depends on your need and your personal taste. So, drop in the comments, have you ever made sigils? Are you going to? How do you prefer to have your sigils, as jewelry, or do you like to use your sigils as a logo for your business? Do you carve them into your candles? Do you make your own jewelry? You can order the jewelry online already made. They have it out there. Sigils for love, like the Venus, with Venus on it. All different kinds of sigils. But before you do anything, as I stated in the previous video, you need to go into your trance state. However you choose to do that, you could do it by counting down into alpha, by doing instant alpha, by listening to Native American drumming, or any kind of music that takes you into a trance state. We do not recommend using ayahuasca or drugs to get you there, because then sometimes that can cause, at least I don't do that. I'm not going to tell people what to do or judge, but I don't want to get a dependence. I'd rather go there in a natural way, either by dancing furiously or going into the very still pose. Some people call it the death pose, or by getting there through the orgasmic state. So I hope that you've started learning how to do your trance if you don't already, and that you've practiced making your sigils before you came to this particular video. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. to this video and my channel, that would be hugely helpful. I appreciate you tuning in today. And before I tune out, I just want to talk a little bit about, when you look at my picture in the beginning of the video, you see a picture to the right of it. That is also a sigil. It's the Greater Key of Solomon sigil. Those are very ancient. They're very old, but people still do use the Key of Solomon sigils. They're very powerful. And there's lots of books out there on that if you're interested in going further. But like I said in the previous video, you don't have to know magic in order to do sigils. But when you start to come into what I'm talking about here, may require a little bit of knowledge, a little bit of study. Also, some people use divination in addition to their sigils, like they might consult the tarot. So that would be something that you would have to learn if you didn't know it already, so that they have a guide as to how they want to go about creating their sigils, what they should create, how much time it's going to take to do it. So they consult their intuition through divination. But like I said, you don't have to. That's not a prerequisite for working with sigils. That's just an adjunct, something else that you can add to your toolbox if you choose to do that. There are many forms of divination in addition to the tarot. Some people gaze into the crystal ball. Some people read tea leaves. I have done that in the past. My boss used to joke that I could read anything that you put in front of me, and I'm not going to say what he said. Some people also, before they light their candle, they call it dressing the candle. We don't put clothes on the candle. It's putting different essential oils on the candle for whatever purpose you use before you light it. That is usually what people do. So that's something else that you would study separately if you decided to go that route. So my picture's coming up again, and to the right of it, as I said, is a sigil, the Greater Key of Solomon, which is very powerful. The keys of Solomon are not something to be taken lightly. That would require much in-depth study. But when you create your own sigils, they will be much simpler because you're just doing it to obtain something for yourself, like love or money or the purchase of a home or whatever it is you have a need for. But if you decide to go into something like the Greater Key of Solomon or the Lesser Keys of Solomon, that requires much respect and a lot of intense study. That's not something to play with. But it's just an example of an ancient sigil. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you want to get in touch with me to ask me more questions, you can. I do get hundreds of messages, so I will try to, if I don't get back to you right away, please don't take it personal. Either I will get back to you or somebody else will with an answer. I like to do it myself, but with the volume of people that message me, sometimes I might miss one, so I do have somebody to help me to look through them these days. So I'd love to hear how you're coming along, and you can drop something in the comments. But if you like to be private, if you look in the About section, I think my email is there on the YouTube channel, and you can reach out to me privately. And like I said, when it gives more power to it, more energy to it, when you keep it to yourself until you obtain your goal. I did put it in the first video, I am a homeowner sigil up, but that was just to make an example for you guys. Much love to you, and thank you for tuning in. This is Molly Reardon.